We wanted to create a framework to help museums and people who work in museums to improve and understand where their participatory practice and community engagement is at, because we know that this kind of community engagement is really good for the participants, and it also helps to build sustainable organisations. So it's good for the community and it's good for the museums. Whether you're thinking about working in this way or whether you're already established in this practice, this is the framework for you.
Communities can be local, physical, or remote and virtual, and really it's the groups that we belong to, the relationships that we build. Museums need to know who's in their local area, who they're for, who their communities are, so that they are really part of the community.
Community can mean a whole range of different things. Communities of interest, communities of geography, communities of values. So there's lots of different types of communities and people belong to more than one.
Museums need to be relevant to the people around them. When you co-design and co-produce work together, it secures and fosters commitment and responsibility from your communities to the work you do.
We're custodians of the community story. It's their history and we're there to showcase it for them and to involve them in it, but I don't think we're there to tell them what their story should be.
What we need to be able to do as a sector is hear many stories and make space for many stories to be told and many voices to be heard. So it is a process that continues.
The beauty of this framework is that not only will it support more community engagement and more participatory practice in museums, it's recognised by funders as a document that if you use it, it will demonstrate to funders and other stakeholders that you're keen to establish those really close relationships and they're keen to support that work going forward.
After years of working with a set of partners all across the country, we identified barriers to embedding deeper participation. We also came up with a set of tools which can enable organisations to overcome some of these barriers.
So the framework shows organisations what success looks like and importantly the steps that they can take. So the important thing to remember is that everyone will be at different points on this framework. Nobody is leading by example in all areas and aspects.
It's not about rating them or saying good or bad, it's just supporting them on a continuum, on a journey.
Museums are for the people.
Community for us is our bread and butter.
We worked with local Egyptian and Sudanese communities living in London to curate a set of galleries. We really thought about how to bring those communities into the practice.
The themes that we were looking at, the stories, the objects that we were going to be showing, but also the colours of our logo, the typefaces and font sizes that we were using. They were all decisions that were made together.
People who performed, acrobats, jugglers, musicians, dancers, and their audiences are all part of Blackpool community. They're very grateful to us for recognising the contribution the circus has made to Blackpool and for preserving what they see as their heritage.
We're really proud of our object handling workshops. It's been incredible in terms of participation because the collection is contentious and the collection often invites a lot of pain. And so for the community to come in and emotionally connect with it and feed that back to us, that to us is just a huge success.
We've been doing some really interesting work over the last 12 months with different community groups of women that wouldn't ordinarily engage with the museum. And slowly we are starting to see some of those community members access our buildings, access our collections. So we're really proud of what we feel like we've achieved.
We have knowledge now on what is involved in developing circus skills, the community relationships behind the scenes, which we wouldn't have been able to get any other way.
It's about getting those different viewpoints on the collections and understanding new ways in and new insights. And the only way we can do that is if we're actually getting the voices and the views of people from our communities.
I think it's fantastic to have the framework in place, to have these indicators of where organisations are in their journey.
The framework has allowed us at quite a crucial time to look at where we're doing well, where we're hitting the markers.
We've got a lot of what's in the framework already built into what we do in terms of leadership and governance.
But then it's also allowing us to see where we've missed something. Have we thought of that?
I think we still have work to do around engagement with our staff, our volunteers, and in many ways we're still at the starting off phase.
Wherever you feel you're at, you can still make use of what's happened before.
I think where we can certainly do better is building in more reflection time.
We dove in feet first into participation, and now we're at the stage at the end where we just want to evaluate what we've done, and that's why the framework's going to be really important for us moving forward.
The only way, I think, to build sustainability into the heart of our museums is putting the community in the heart of our museums and allowing them to have the decision-making power over what we do next.